Guys, it's me, Vinny. I came to tell you guys my personal thoughts on this personal game, Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl. Now, for those that don't know about me, also, is that I've said my thoughts about certain things that I really do like. I mentioned like Nickelodeon, I mentioned Sega, I mentioned the NFL, obviously, MLB, NBA, NHL, many others. But I never got around to talk about my love of certain animated shows growing up, specifically the ones on Nickelodeon. You see, there are many people that now. I did talk about Drake Bell, for instance, with the whole Drake Bell video when I talked about his sentencing for endangerment of children. But I never got around to talk about my love for the TV shows, specifically the animated shows, the cartoons, if you will, on Nickelodeon, preferably on there, called the Nicktoons. Um, Growing up, you had really three choices with animated TV shows. There was Disney Channel, there was Nickelodeon, and there was Cartoon Network. And because I loved Nick Jr. growing up as a child, it was a very natural progression for me to go from Nick Jr. to Nickelodeon. It was a very easy, very natural progression from going one section to the other. And it worked out very well a lot. I mean, I loved SpongeBob as a kid. I loved Danny Phantom. I loved Jimmy Neutron. Loved Fairly Odd Parents. I loved the games that were made with them. Nicktoons Net was a great game. Volcano Island was a great game. The Arcade Racer, where it had like Wild Thornberries and what was great. They had so many great franchises besides those four. Rugrats is fantastic. Avatar: The Last Airbender is in a very iconic show. Just don't mention the movie. That movie was trash. Hey Arnold's a classic. And there's a lot of great legendary shows from that network. And I also really like Smash Brothers. I'm a big Nintendo guy growing up. I showed you my Amiibo collection. I do like Smash. However, there's always been several criticisms I've had of the game, especially recently. First off, I've always felt like they don't really seem to listen to the fans that much when it comes to characters they've been really requesting. I also feel like the online is not good, and I feel like there should be transparency involved, and they should really support competitive play, because over at Hofstra, there is some competitive leagues where people literally play Smash all the time competitively. But here in this case, Nickelodeon, All-Stars Brawl, we happen to have a situation where it looks like we have all the ingredients. The gameplay from the trailer looks fantastic. Looks like a classic platforming fighting game in the vein of Super Smash Brothers. With so far 14 characters been confirmed. I have them all on this list. SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, all from SpongeBob. Then Danny Phantom. Yeah, both Lincoln and Lucy Loud. Both of them are from the newer show Loud House. Reptar from the Rugrats. Helga from Hey Arnold. Oblina from Ha Real Monsters. Nigel Thornberry from the Thornberries, both Leonardo and Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Powdered Toast Man from Ren and Stimpy, and then Invader Zim from, Invader Zim. That's 14 characters we have so far, and looks like we're going to get some more characters too. Judging from the box art, from what we've seen, it looks like it's hinting at getting CatDog, Aang, and then also Korra from the Avatar series. Ren and Stimpy, again, joining Powdered Toast Man there. And yeah, but they're probably gonna have more too. I'm just very excited for this game. I think this game is gonna please a lot of people. I hope that, considering it's on every single console, that it's going to sway many Smash fans over that we're kind of getting sick and tired of Nintendo and want to go to Ludosity or Game Mill, who did make I forgot what the game they made. Slap City. Yeah, that's what it is. Slap City. It's a big game. It's a decently well-known game in the fighting game community sphere, and having the guys make that, which makes like one of the best, Smash Bros. Like games. All I was missing was just those quality, well-known, iconic, nostalgia, powering characters, and you have that here. Though I should mention, just like with Smash, people are hyped. That they're really, really excited for this game, and I am too. Because, oh my God, not only we have an situation where it's like Smash, but the online is better, and we actually get a chance to speak to the developers. One of them literally flat out said, yeah, there's going to be net rollback code, which means that the online is going to be great, and you're going to be playing this in tournaments, and they're going to be supporting this Hopefully, they're going to support this game as much as they possibly can. I have confidence that's about that. And if not, it's going to be a very, very underrated game. But I feel like it's going to be a game that a lot of people are going to be sleeping on because some are saying, oh, is this a Nickelodeon game? No, no. This game is going to be big. Right now, with how much attention there is on it within the community, it's going to do very, very well. It's going to go on PC. It's going to be on both PS4, Xbox One, as well as, the newer generation consoles, new generation consoles, of course, the Xbox Series X, the PS5, and of course the Switch. It's gonna be on Steam. I understand I don't really talk about gaming that much here, but considering this is on my mind, it is worth mentioning. But it really should come down to who I want to see in this game, because that's what everyone wants to see. Everyone wants to know what characters are going to play as. Even when it comes to Smash, even though you can talk about stage and everything, 95% of the people who talk about Smash, besides the gameplay, it's what characters they want to see playable on the roster. As simple as that. So, I look at the franchise that we have so far. I have written down here. For the SpongeBob series, I feel like they will just have at least one more, maybe two. I think Squidward will definitely happen. If not, that's going to be a very big issue. And as for a second one, if they're going to do that, they should add Mr. Krabs. I feel like having those two and maybe Plankton would be a great way of just rounding it out. But they could add more too if they want. Rugrats, you only have Reptar here. You could add Tommy and Chucky and/or Angelica. But I'm not really sure if they want to have the babies fight each other, though they were in the kart racing game, but that's also racing, not a fighting game. So I'm not sure of what they're going to do for that. So if not, they can have like the all grown up version for them of all I care. I don't care. I mean, Rugrats is one of the largest franchises Nickelodeon's ever had, or Viacom's probably ever had at this point. Now going also with Oblina, other than Ickis, maybe, I think she might be by herself. Zim, you saw Gur in there. We don't know if he's part of the moveset. He could be, but he could also be his own character. He would work as a second character for the series, but they could also add Dib. Either way, I think Gur will be the fan favorite kind of a choice. Ninja Turtles, you already have Leonardo, Michelangelo. We're definitely going to get Donatello or Raphael. If not, I'd be very shocked. And we're probably going to get Shredder too. But I think we're going to at least have all 4 Ninja Turtles. If they don't have any, if they miss any, though, I'd be pretty shocked. The Loud House, I don't know much about this series. This came after my time. I think Clyde, I think his name is, might be the only other one that might come. Danny Phantom, he's really been the one that's been seen in a lot of these crossover games because also he has a very easy moveset potential. As for who else they could really add, I mean, there's so many. You could do Sam. She was like the love interest of Danny. Well, later on, they became love interest. Then Vlad as an easy villain rep. They can have good villain reps like Box Ghost or a Skulker, like really good choices. But I think Vlad is the obvious one here. Thornberries, you can have, I forgot what her name is. The main girl, name escapes me. And Darwin, one of those two could really work very well. Helga, Hey Arnold. Well, Arnold's definitely going to happen. I think Arnold is a near easy lock. I think Gerald could be there, and that's just a perfect way of doing the Hey Arnold series. Though, if you're going to go further, you could do Phil. That could be a choice that you go with. And as for franchises that are also on Patter Toastman, Ren and Stimpy are definitely going to happen. I don't know if they're going to be either duo characters or they may be 2 separate characters. Either or. They're definitely going to be in the game. I think that's easy one. Now, and also I'm going to include The Last Airbender on this as well. Besides Aang and Korra, Zuko would be a good one. And maybe you could do Katara or Toph. I mean, the Avatar series has so many great characters. They're perfect for a fighting game. They're absolutely perfect for a fighting game. I would not be mad if they have like 5 characters from that series because they're just perfect for it. But I don't see it. I see like at most like 3, maybe 4. I'd say if we had to choose one, go with Zuko. That's the one I would go with. Not Ara. Like it would be Zuko. As for Cat Dog, it would just be Cat Dog. Really, I don't think you really need to go. I mean, you could have Winston, but come on, it would probably just be Cat Dog, and I think most people would be pretty fine with it. And as for characters that are not represented so far, one that I've seen a lot, well, this is obvious. The 2 that stand out to me for not being in this game so far are the Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron. Why? Because Fairly Odd Parents lasted for like 15 years. You can honestly say almost 20 if you include like the earlier shorts, the pilot episodes. They need to be in here. Timmy needs to be playable. There is no excuse. He was in those crossovers with the three other main franchises of that era of the 2000s. He needs to be here. They're going to be making the live action show successor. Timmy needs to be in this game, no question about it. They are making a fighting game, Eric. They're making a fighting game of Nickelodeon. That's what I'm talking about. And as for other characters they could add besides just Timmy, it's going to be on Xbox, Eric. It's going to be on all the consoles. As for any other characters they could add from Very Odd Parents, yeah, thanks for as for other ones, I could see easily like Jorgen would be an easy one. Crocker would be a perfect villain, or Vicky, either one of those two. And the Crimson Chin, again, just an easy, badass super. I mean, you have the Powder Toast, man. It only makes sense to have the Crimson Chin. As for Jimmy Neutron, that's even more of an interesting one because, like, you don't every day, like, Jimmy Neutron is a series. Like, that was one that they actually thought would be their mascot besides SpongeBob, actually, because remember, that was actually the first ever CGI show they ever made in-house. And that actually got its own movie before it became a TV show. And it was so successful that it was one of the first 3 films that was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars, along with Shrek and Monsters, Inc. And Shrek and winning, but still being nominated is still pretty significant. And the show was very successful. Many great characters. Got a spin-off with Planet Sheen. Wasn't as successful, but still, it is still a very, very popular show to this day. Like, when I compare Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents, they're very similar in many ways, but also very different. Besides the crossovers they actually did themselves, the Jimmy Neutron is something where you'd say that, going with that classic quote that Two-Face had in The Dark Knight, you either die a hero in the case of Jimmy Neutron, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. In the case of Fairly Odd Parents, as many people kind of grew tired of it, even though it kept going. So I think Jimmy Neutron himself desperately needs to be a character. And as for other characters besides just him, I mean, there's so many to choose from. I mean, Sheen's an easy one because he had his own, spin-off. Carl, obviously, too. But the interesting thing is that also in the Jimmy Neutron franchise, I've seen easily the most requested character out of all this. And it's not even Jimmy. It's Hugh. That's right, Hugh Neutron. Jimmy's father is the most requested character in this game by what a wide margin. The only other character I think might compare with him is Squidward. And the only reason why Squidward has less is mainly because many people think Squidward's going to happen in the game. As for Hugh, at first it was like a joke, but Mark DiCarlo, the actual guy that played Hugh in the original show and movie, actually has been talking. People actually found his Twitter profile, and he's been engaging with the fan base, and he's actually been commenting and retweeting a lot of our posts. In fact, he actually commented and retweeted on me when I showed a picture of a Smash Ultimate mod that showed Hugh Neutron as Little Mac, and I said, me after beating Evo 2022 with Hugh Neutron, and he said, me and Vinny are gonna do damage. That's my Hugh Neutron impression. I hope you guys like it. And he actually gave me a follow, and I was thrilled. I never couldn't even imagine. And with all the response, and the fact that these get like 20,000, like tens of thousands of likes, especially for Hugh Neutron as a character, oh yeah, he is easily the most requested character. And if he somehow does not happen, if they do DLC for him for this game, they need to put in Hugh Neutron. It's simple. They need to make, if there's one character out of all these that I legitimately do want because of the fan base, it's Hugh Neutron. Obviously, you can't have Hugh without Jimmy, so obviously put in Jimmy first. But even if you don't have Carl and Sheen, you have to at least have Hugh Neutron. Hugh Neutron is the character that the fan base wants. And I'm very confident in this team that they're going to listen to what the fans are asking for, because it's as easy as just talking to them on Discord and they're going to answer you. It's as that simple. Obviously, they're not going to get to everyone, but they know that people want Hugh. Hugh, I'm part of the Hugh Nation. I'm ready for the Hugh hype. So now I've talked a lot about Hugh Neutron. I'll get to him later down the line. But as for other series, Angry Beavers is one that comes to mind. You can easily have them as a tag team. I mean, Doug is a easy one. I mean, that was the very first ever Nickelodeon animated show. But the only downside with Doug that the rights are kind of weird. Like you had like the first 4 seasons with Nickelodeon and the final 3 with Disney. I think actually the series itself is owned by Disney, so it might be kind of weird that you do see some Nickelodeon stuff with Doug and some promotional stuff. So I'm not sure it's gonna